Gravity doesn't exist.
So, doesn't gravity have a Mandela effect? Who remembers gravity being a force holding everything down? When something falls, it's gravity. No, now they're describing gravity as magnetism.
When you drop a slinky, the bottom of the slinky actually waits in mid-air until the top of the slinky catches up with it, and then it can fall. Even if you attach a weight to it like this roll of duct tape here, the duct tape just waits in mid-air until the top catches up with it. This is because the bottom doesn't know when to fall until the pressure wave from the top catches up to it, and it moves at a finite speed through the slinky. But this isn't magic. The center of mass of the slinky is still falling as if it were just a ball dropping through the air.
Because we are magnetic beings and they can't hide it. They don't even know what gravity is. There's so many definitions. But don't you know when they say the gravity of a situation, the weight of a situation? Because it's pounds, ounces of gravity. Gravity is just another word for weight. Okay? There's no such thing as gravity. How does gravity not leave a dent in my ceiling to hold me down? How does gravity let a bird fly and let an elephant walk? How does gravity work in safes? When you have money and jewelry inside of a safe, how does gravity get through everything to keep that on the ground? You're not hearing me. Gravity doesn't exist. They want you to feel like you're being held down. We're always feeling like we held back or held down. Once again, when they tell you to look this way, look that way. When they tell you that you're being held down, you're really not. They want you to think gravity so you don't elevate, you don't float, you don't levitate, you don't jump as high as a building. We can do all things. Don't let them tell you that you're being held down by an invisible force. And they don't even know what it is. They don't even have the proper definition anymore. Because we do not need gravity when we all have weight and density.
The rocket
Nothing
following a
into
curved
space
trajectory.
except your imagination.
This isn't a mistake. You will see the exact same thing in every other video of a rocket launch. Even so, it doesn't seem to make sense. Rockets are supposed to go into space, right? So wouldn't it make more sense if they went straight up in a line, rather than following a parabolic path? They'd reach space much faster that way, it would seem. There must be a reason, because rocket scientists tend to be pretty smart, so why do they not go straight up? Why is a rocket trajectory curved after launch? So let's get started. Short answer, because they want to get into the orbit around the Earth using as little fuel as possible.
Wait a minute. Now do you hear what their excuse is for orbiting the whole Earth before going to space? We all know that the fastest way from point A to point B is in a straight line. That's like saying when we get on an airplane, the airplane circles the airport before it takes off onto its destination. Or when I get in my truck in the morning, I circle the block before I actually get on the highway and go to work. Come on now, people. Do you even comprehend how ridiculous that sounds? Saving fuel. And I'll tell you what's even more ridiculous than that. You got these globetards that'll make these videos and put them on YouTube trying to explain that that's why the rockets curve on launch. Knowing good and well that they've never even seen a rocket in person or been beside a rocket or know anything about a rocket, but they'll go Google their information and then put out a little silly video like you see here, 15 minutes and 47 seconds long, trying to explain a lie that they've been lied to, and they had no clue what they're talking about. They're just giving you information that was handed down to them through a space agency. So anyways, I'm here to show you why rockets curve when they launch. Check it out.
And so they send these rockets up, but they don't really go anywhere.
Yeah, if you watch the trajectory,
right.
It's never straight. It's never straight. It's never straight. Where are you going?
Did you know that all rockets are launched from Cape Canaveral, Florida? Now, what's beside Florida? The ocean. You know what's in the ocean beside Florida? The Bermuda Triangle. Now, why don't they launch rockets from Texas, Colorado, or Kentucky? Because there's no ocean there for them to fall back into. And that is why they launched from Cape Canaveral, so they can drop it right in the Bermuda Triangle, and nobody ever know, nobody ever see, because nobody goes there. Now, space shuttles, they do a little different, but it's still pretty simple how they pull it off. You ever notice once the shuttle gets up so high, its boosters fall down into what? The ocean, the Bermuda Triangle. And then the shuttle, which is not really a space shuttle at all, it's just an airplane, big goofy looking airplane made to look like a shuttle. And then when it comes back, nobody notices how it just looks like an airplane landing on a runway. Check out the wheels. See these little doors on these wheels? And this stuff is supposed to say stay sealed in a vacuum? Yeah, come on now, people. It's time to wake up.
Blow me to Bermuda! Where did he go? To Bermuda, I suppose.
So, as you can see, the eye is wise. He's trying to teach the child the truth. But the wizard, which is a devil, is trying to lie to him. And then what's he say? Fly me to Bermuda, and takes off like a rocket into the sky and curves off, just like you see real rockets do. And the reason they do, because there is no outer space. There's a firmament. There's nowhere to go. So it's just a little fireworks show to trick you and make you believe all this stuff. None of you have ever seen a rocket. You might have stood there in Florida and watched one go up in the air, but you've never seen one in space. Only on TV did you see one in space, not in real life with your own eyes. Wake up, people. Stop believing this bull crap. Those rockets go straight into that Bermuda Triangle. That's why they make up all these myths and don't want you around there. And they say all these ships are wrecked in there and all these planes have fell in there. Only thing that's fell in there is their rockets and their bull crap.
Sorry to tell you. The only thing that's been to space is your imagination.
Listen to this from 9 years ago.
They were talking about climate change yesterday, and now we're learning that scientists and researchers are looking at how to change the weather on purpose. That's right. Lasers now could one day manipulate rain and lightning. CBS This Morning contributor Michio Kaku is a physics professor at City College of New York. Professor, nice to see you. Extraordinary seeing Al Gore and Bill Clinton there together with Charlie, wasn't it?
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, they did not get into this discussion, though. But it is fascinating. I mean, lasers, really? To change the weather?
That's right. Well, as Mark Twain once famously said, everyone complains about the weather, but no one ever does anything about it. Well, instead of doing a rain dance, we physicists are firing trillion-watt lasers into the sky to actually precipitate rain clouds and actually bring down lightning bolts. This is potentially a game changer.
But this is experimental.
It's experimental. However, in the laboratory so far it works. When you have water vapor and you have dust particles or ice crystals, you can precipitate rain. It condenses around the seeds.
It's so crazy what the CIA was doing. They engineered the Manson family. They taught him how to be a cult leader. They gave him acid. They taught him how to take it. They taught him how to give it to people and not take it and pretend you're taking it and then manipulate them. That guy didn't just learn on his own out on the street. Like, he went through a program that got him to develop this gang of hippie killers. And that every time he got arrested, they got him out of jail. Like, he would get arrested and people were like, well, why are you letting him out of jail? And the sheriff would be like, well, it's above my pay grade. They just got visited. Guys showed badges, like, open the door, let him out, shut the fuck up, we'll be back.
There is a thin line between spirituality and schizophrenia, and sometimes they can overlap, and that line can be blurred. See, a lot of times when people go through spiritual awakenings, they experience a certain level of psychosis, and this can cause people to lose touch with reality and become disillusioned, depressed, or even cause people to no longer want to live. And a lot of times this is due to sensory overload. See, having a spiritual awakening, it's like being pushed into the ocean without knowing how to swim. And a lot of people drown in their own mind. When you've been programmed to believe lies your whole life, and then you're suddenly exposed to the truth, your brain literally can't process all of that. So you open your third eye and you start to actually see different dimensions and start seeing different types of beings. Man, everybody cannot handle that. So I never try to force people to embark upon this path, because to keep it real, a lot of people just aren't.
33 is a sacred number for everyone, for history and geometry, because 33 are the spots of the whole structure of the consciousness of creation. When we put all the geometries, the tetrahedron, the cube, the octahedron, icosahedron, and the dodecahedron all together, what we will find is that you will have 20 portals plus 12 other portals in the structure of the geometry. So that is 32, all looking into just one, which is in the middle, the 33rd. The 33 structures of the consciousness of the universe makes us know that we have 33 ways in which we could bring the information to our bodies, to our souls. That's why we have around 33 blood types in this planet for humans that had the codes along every culture, every race, every species of humans. We have these 33 codes, so we could download the information from the 33 nodes of the planet, which are aligned emotionally in our mind through the 33 vertebrae from our spine. So in mind, in body, and emotion, we are aligned and bounded by the code 33, which would be the realization of the understanding of the whole universe and the universal mind within ourselves. That's why the 33 is the code that we all have to reach at the moment when we recognize that we are God. 3 is the code to enlighten humanity, and we all in our blood had for sure those 33 codes that are divided in different regions of the planet. So if we work all together, we reach the 33, which is the enlightenment of Earth.